Hey everyone, Kate Bohr and Fiona Pearman joining you today to talk a little bit more about what the Acts of Confidence program is all about and how we actually go about delivering it, what's required, what's expected by you, and all of the details that so many of you drop us notes asking in emails and things like that. So I think the first thing is there are 7 modules and the program happens across 10 weeks live. And you'll need about 1 to 2 hours a week to invest in getting the most out of the program.
Yeah, I think what we know is if you set yourself up well with a good cadence and you get on top of things early, you'll have a much smoother experience. We suggest on Sunday and Monday, you're going to look at your video and then you're going to do your worksheet and then maybe listen to the story on Tuesday or read the story so that by the time you come in on Wednesday, which is when we have our live group coaching and Q&A session, you're really prepared and in the topic that we're discussing.
Yeah, I think all of these steps are really important. On the video and questions is really to start to help you become your own best coach. Whilst the program goes for 10 weeks, you will actually be with us for a full 12 months and you'll come through the program a second time. Our goal for you as you progress through your time with us is that you become your own best coach, that you're able to start coaching yourself as you meet some of the challenges that we know you'll face in career and life. On a Wednesday, we all come together live to dig in to some of the key themes for that week's module. You'll go into breakout groups with some of the participants on the program, which is also a really great way to build network and relationships with people across the program and beyond your buddy groups as well. On Thursday, if you opt in to the buddy element of the program, which we do strongly encourage you to do, you will come together with your fellow buddies, and there's some guidance for that conversation. But essentially, the buddy group aspect of the program is designed to connect you with fellow program participants to share and inspire each other along the journey, and also to keep each other accountable.
Yeah, I think we always hear how much people get out of this part of the program. They love working with us as facilitators, but they also love learning with and from other people who are going through similar challenges and experiences to themselves. And often these become quite strong friendships. People go on to stay in touch many months after they've been in the program together. So we encourage you to really make that a regular meeting with your buddies on Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday to do a little bit of reflection and potentially do some prep before the week coming up so that you're fully prepared and you're able to make the most of that.
Yeah, I think just a final piece on the logistics. The Q&As are recorded and we strongly encourage you to show up live. Whether you're on the commute and for some reason you're not able to have cameras on or things like that, we really encourage you where possible to be online live so that you're not having to catch up. And we talk a lot with you at the beginning of the program around setting yourself up for success so that you can really make the most of this investment in you.
I think when we look at what we're going to cover, we're going to take you through the 7 acts of confidence. And these are the things that we've learned from working with hundreds of women just like you, also with organisations. What are the things that if women did more of it, they would be able to advance their careers? And we start with act of confidence number 1, get clear and make decisions. And this is really important because the more clarity you have, the easier it is for you to step in and do the things that will take you towards that big act of confidence that you've set for yourself.
We're going to work with you to decide on that big act of confidence. I think we use this from 2 perspectives. Firstly, you've got a really clear goal with which to determine your own return on investment. And when we talk about this, we talk about time and money. but you're really clear on what you're focused on. You've got a North Star, if you will, and that you're taking those small acts of confidence on a weekly basis to move towards this as well. I think sometimes people always ask, what sort of big acts of confidence, or what are some of examples of big acts of confidence? Sometimes making decisions, like I think about clients who have worked in organizations for a long period of time, and that decision, do I stay, do I go? Sometimes actually having the courage to make a decision and then start moving on, and perhaps the interview process might be a big act of confidence. But that big act of confidence also serves as part of your learning journey. What we know is you do start to take small acts of confidence on a weekly basis, you're going to learn a ton around your beliefs, your default behaviors, assumptions you've been making as you've been navigating career and life. And it's that learning and those lessons, those insights that we know is what makes our work so transformational.
Yeah, I think we are there as your guides, and we've worked with so many women and we've seen them unpack this work in ways that means we can bring to life stories and examples and insights that make it very practical for you. There's always very clear ways in which you can apply the learning, and in doing that, you learn as you go. That's why we've got the small acts of confidence each week, and each of their topics are unpacked and discussed, and you make a commitment around that. And as you explore that, sometimes things don't go perfectly, and that's okay. It's in the learning, it's in the taking action that we start to build your capacity and your confidence muscle to learn that you'll be okay, even when things don't go perfectly.
As we move on, active confidence number 2 is articulate and share your value. We know this is a really important act of confidence, particularly for people who are focused on building brand profile, being more visible with senior stakeholders, speaking up in meetings. There's lots of examples where this one's really relevant and present. You'll be able to find plenty of small acts of confidence each week to be able to practice. Active confidence number 3 is ask for what you want. Here we do talk about pay rises, negotiating flexibility, which is increasingly interesting conversation across most organizations at the moment, asking for respect. And I think what's really powerful about all of the modules is their application, not just in the workplace, which is where many of you come to our work, but also in our personal lives as well.
Yeah, I think that's one of the lovely things is people often say I came because I wanted to shift things at work, but actually what I found is it's just as powerful and potent in other relationships in my world. Active confidence number 4 is ask for help. And this is often one where people haven't necessarily associated help with confidence. But what we know is that a lot of us think asking for help can make me seem weak or incompetent. And what we know is when we have the capability of asking for help from a place of power, our world changes. You can't do everything by yourself, and being able to engage others and delegate and get help when we need it is a vital skill. It's really important in life, but it's also important as a leader. Active confidence number 5 is all about that redefining a relationship with fear and failure, falling down and getting back up again, knowing that no matter what happens, I'm going to have it within me to meet and address whatever challenge comes my way. And then active confidence number 6 is all about setting and enforcing boundaries. Again, we often find that women are quite good at setting some boundaries, but our ability to hold them when we're under pressure. Often we've been conditioned to be the nice girl, the yes girl, and it can feel really hard to say no and to say that in a way that lands well. And so we spend quite a bit of time coaching you to feel comfortable to do that. And when people do this, they end up with so much more time and energy because they're not in that overwhelm or frustration of trying to do it all.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are always concerned whether they'll be able to prioritize themselves, number 1. And then secondly, to be able to give acts of confidence the time that it needs. Being able to say no when you really want to. That in and of itself can be, particularly if you're a yes girl, and I'm a reformed one, if that's been your patterns in the past, being able to take small acts of confidence repeatedly and be able to say no when you want to, can be an incredibly powerful, again, piece in the workplace, but also in your personal life as well. So for some people, that is their big act of confidence to complete that transformation. The final one is all about building your brand presence and profile. Again, this links in a little bit with active confidence number 2, and articulate and share your value. But we know that being visible, being seen, valued, recognized, appreciated by senior stakeholders, key influencers in your organization is really critical to career progression and success. So that is something we focus on towards the end of our time together. So let's talk a little bit about the outcomes and results of acts of confidence. And we know that 100% of participants experience an increase in confidence over the course of their program experience. I think what's really powerful is 97%. We know inner critic, imposter syndrome is huge for so many of our clients. That 97% of participants tame their inner critic and minimize their self-doubt. How that shows up and plays out in terms of what life looks like post the program is really incredible.
Yeah, I think we get so excited when we see these stats, which are just repeated cohort after cohort. 97 participants are feeling that they now have the right strategies to support them in their career and life goals. So they've got practical, tactical ways in which they're addressing things that before were preventing them from achieving what they wanted to, and now they know how to do it. And 90% of our participants recommend the program to others, and that's really exciting, and it's wonderful for Kate and I. It allows the ripple effect of our work to spread even further. We often see participants are 70% able to prioritise what is important and say no. And this is a particularly important skill. It does take a bit of practice if you're not someone who's been comfortable saying no in the past. But certainly by the time people come through the second round of acts of confidence, they're even more comfortable in doing this in a way that lands well and doesn't alienate others.
Yeah, and I think the final one, 59% of participants have asked for a pay rise, promotion, or applied for a more senior role. Always really exciting because lots of people come to our work with those sorts of big acts of confidence in mind. There is an incredible spin-off effect of our work in other areas of their life as well. But seeing this translate into increases in salary that close the gender pay gap, and increases in diversity at senior decision-making levels is really part of what our mission and vision is all about.